stream. Let's hope this thing works. Of course, we are professionals, and everything we do works perfectly every time.
Consummate professionals, flawless.
Exactly. All right, so I can see that we're live. I can see the screen.
Hello,
Hopefully,
beautiful people. Of
hello, beautiful people. I don't even know if I put. I think I put in the thumbnail. It's there. It's got to be there. There's no way I didn't. I forgot the thumbnail.
course not.
Um,
We're consummate professionals. It's flawless. Of course you
exactly.
did.
Flawless victory. So so hello and welcome to what we are doing here. Tim, tell us what we're doing here. I don't know. What are we
So
doing?
it's been a couple of weeks, but I thought we would, now that it's all kind of settled in, like talk about E3.
Hmm.
And I think for those who maybe don't know what E3 is, it's an annual event. It used to be a trade show just where like people like Walmart or whatever would show up and the video game people would show them the games that are coming out next year
Hmm.
so the Walmart people would know what to buy. That's how it started. It was just a trade show.
Hmm.
Um, but it grew into like a networking event where game developers and journalists would come, and it became much larger to like kind of a convention.
Hmm.
Still very industry focused, more than consumer focused.
Hmm.
Although that changed in the last couple of years, so they started letting consumers in. And then, of course, the pandemic happened, and last year was completely virtual. This year
Hmm.
was also virtual, but they had the benefit of like kind of knowing what to do. So the showcases were a little bit more polished this year.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was a time for companies like Ubisoft and Nintendo and Microsoft to say, hey, this is what we're excited about to offer you in the coming year or so as consumers and as they didn't really address retailers anymore. They're almost all just focused on the consumers, which is you and me, people who are excited about video games.
It's not about us, man. They are not concerned about you and me. They're
Well, they
concerned
want to get us hyped. They want to get us hyped.
not us. We are not the target market. The target market are those people who buy everything and basically just you
But
know
we need to know how to talk about everything because we're covering it.
yeah they just want us to read the talking points. This is good game. We want
Well,
you
we're
to
going to
buy.
talk about the parts that we care about. So, joke's on them, I guess.
Which is not a lot for me. I don't know about you, but it's not a lot for me. Not a
I
lot.
slimmed down a lot from what each company offered, and I'm not even mentioning like some companies like Ubisoft. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not really interested in an expansion on a game they already have out,
Mhm.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mhm.
I've quit being interested in the Cry games many sequels ago.
Mhm.
So I'm not even really going to talk about Ubisoft unless you had something you were interested in.
No, there's nothing they had. There's literally nothing they
So we're
announced yet.
skipping a lot. This is parts that I thought were noteworthy.
Mhm.
How many of the press conferences did you watch, Hugh? I know
Honestly,
you
I
watched Nintendo
I did
because
watch
I was
Nintendo.
there.
I did what? Yeah, we watched it together, and somehow there was some well, not difficulties, technical challenges that we
You'll have to take
perfectly
my
handled.
word. You'll have to take my word that I was there.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. At the end, we realized that your mic was being picked up. This time, I made
But
sure.
Did you watch any others?
I did watch Microsoft. Like, I did sit down and watch Microsoft's entire conference. Like, I didn't watch it live because I was doing something on that day. I think everyone in my family was sick, so I was taking care of everyone on that day. But as soon as everyone was down in bed and all that kind of stuff, I went straight to the computer, sat here, and watched the conference. And
So I did the same, and I'm actually glad I waited
mhm,
because to watch it that way, I wasn't watching the live stream,
mhm,
and I could watch it on my big TV in 4K,
mhm,
and that looked much better than watching a live stream on YouTube in
mhm.
1080p or whatever. Like it
Yeah,
was noticeably more impressive.
yeah.
So I'm actually glad I waited a day for that.
True, 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 true. I think certain games looked a lot better. And when I say that, I mean specifically, I think is it Stalker 2, the one where
Stalker 2 looked better. Starfield looked amazing on 4K compared to like watching just a little YouTube window on your phone or whatever.
I didn't.
Like it.
Uh, Sorry, I didn't even know this Starfield. Like there was gameplay for Starfield.
Well, do you
Really?
want to get into it? Should we start with talking about Microsoft and Bethesda?
Let's go into it, bro. Let's go into
So
it.
sure. So first of all, the fact that they kind of positioned it that way, it was Microsoft's show, but they were like Microsoft Bethesda because they just spent however many billions of dollars to acquire Bethesda.
Mhm.
And one of their big things they were talking about was Starfield,
Mhm.
which is a newer project, which kind of like I don't know, Elder Scrolls in space, maybe like an open world that's more than one world. You've got all these planets you can fly around to.
Mhm.
They showed some. It was more of like a cinematic, but it was in engine, so that was good.
Mhm.
And it looks really cool.
Mhm.
It's exclusive to Xbox. They dropped that, so you
Mhm.
can probably play it on Windows PC as well. But
Mhm.
um, that is important because a lot of people are looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6, for example. And
Mhm.
if they're making Starfield exclusive,
Mhm.
they're probably going to do that for Elder Scrolls as well.
Mhm. Well,
So
I mean,
you haven't seen the Starfield trailer yet?
if I have, I've forgotten because I don't think like I don't remember it. That's the thing. Like I watched the conference and I believe I watched the whole
Mhm.
thing, but
It was in there.
I just don't remember seeing anything gameplay Starfield related. Like I
They
just don't.
didn't really show gameplay, but they showed in engine, so that was good. What the game would actually look like, not just a pre-rendered cinematic. So I
Mm,
did know that the one of the games you were more interested in was Stalker 2, so maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
the thing with Stalker 2 is that I actually thought when I was watching the trailer, I thought it was Metro. Like I was like, oh
It
my
has
God,
that vibe. It
Metro.
has that vibe. It has a very Metro vibe.
It's the Russian, I started hearing Russian
Yep.
talk, I was
hmm
like, yes, yes, very much.
They're
Yeah.
sitting around a campfire, just like talking about how bleak life is. It's very much a Metro vibe.
And my missus speaks Russian. Like, they had to learn
Oh, that's
back in
cool.
school. Yeah, it's pretty cool. She actually joined a Russian. She was playing this game, this mobile game, and she joined a Russian server for to like talk about like basically it was like to practice her Russian because she hadn't done it in a while. And and then then they started to be super racist, and she was like, yeah, nah. It was like a WhatsApp server group that they were in talking about this mobile game they were playing, and then she
Yeah.
filled me in on the deets, she was like, they didn't know, they didn't know anything. I had to come in and set them straight, but then they were like, pretending like it, like nothing ever happened kind of thing. I was like, ooh, look at that. Russia. I have a Russian friend, though. I have a friend from Russia. He's pretty cool. Um, Ego, if you ever see this, bruh. So yeah, generally, when I saw Starfield, I was like Metro. It's not Starfield, sorry, Stalker. I thought Metro, and it wasn't. It was Stalker, and I was so impressed by how that looked like a game that you need a new console for. It looks like I don't think I started wondering can my PC run that? Like that's what the questions I started asking myself. Like can my PC push that game like what I was seeing in the trailer in the gameplay footage? Because like for example in my PC I've got one of the latest AMD graphics card which is the RX 8600 X 6800 XT, but my processor is not the latest processor. So I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna need to upgrade my processor. Like this shit looks amazing. It just looks great. Like the ray tracing effects, the lighting, just everything. I was like, my god, this is
We're
what
doing a
next
lot
gen.
with physics too, with like crumbling buildings and
Mhm.
yeah,
It
for
looks
sure.
it looks so good. It looked so good. It impressed me. I have to say, it
hmm
really did impress me, and I am looking forward to potentially. I have to say potentially because I don't even know if I'll get a chance to play it, but I'm looking forward to potentially playing it.
Yep. Let's go through a couple more games. Just Left 4 Dead. Were you ever a fan of that?
Left 4 Dead, no, I played it a bit with some friends, and I would never say that I was a fan. I would say that friends of mine were fans, and they encouraged me to play with them, and I did, and I enjoyed playing with them. But I was never a fan of the series, meaning that I never went out of my way to get them to play it with me, and I never played it by myself. So,
So, unless
um,
I'm mistaken, Back for Blood, which they announced, is kind of like, if not a direct sequel, definitely like a
it's a clone.
spiritual spiritual successor or whatever.
Yep, that's the best way to
So
put it.
for
Mhm.
people that are into that, and it's like four-player co-op. I like co-op games better than competitive games, so that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
A series that's getting revived that I'm excited about is Psychonauts 2,
Ooh.
where you play really unique art style and you dive into like the brains of people and it's just wild. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland in a way,
Mhm.
or I don't know, just very surreal.
Mhm.
And man, Psychonauts the original one was that PS2 era or place? It was a while ago.
Mhm.
Um, but Microsoft acquired that studio, I believe, and that's
Mhm.
their first big release. So I'm excited about that.
Mhm.
And then I want to go over the next two briefly, just
Mhm.
because they impressed me visually.
Mhm.
Somerville and Replaced. different games, but what they share is something that's come up more and more often.
Mhm.
There needs to be a word for games that have pixel art, but they don't look 8-bit. Like they have like scaling and ray tracing and lighting effects, where like
Oh.
everything on the screen is pixel
Mhm.
based, but like replaced especially. Um, if you have two spare minutes sometime, whoever is watching this,
Mhm.
look up the trailer for Replaced. And yes, all the art is pixel art, but it's
Mhm.
not Mario Brothers. It's beautiful in its own weird pixelated way.
I think.
Um, and I don't know, I like something old, something new, and that game excited me, just the visual look of it.
Mhm.
And Somerville to a lesser extent. Somerville's cool because it's like a story of trying to keep a family alive in what looks like some kind of alien or zombie apocalypse. So there's like the kids getting dropped and the parents have to pick them up, and that look kind of neat.
I'm,
But
I'm I'm thinking it's like, isn't it like HD pixel game? Really? Like it's high
yeah,
definition
it's
but
it's more than
pixel.
just HD though. You'll have like the background and foregrounds moving and like lighting effects and shadows, like more depth of field and
Mhm.
I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's not just flat, you know, Mario jumping over a 2D bush.
Mhm.
It's pixel art, but I don't know. There just needs to be a word to describe those kind of games. HD pixel's a good start, I guess.
Yeah, I know for a fact that there's one game that's coming out that I'm looking forward to that has that look. It's a JRPG, and I
Hmm.
believe it's coming to, I think Square Enix was the one to announce that at E3.
Oh yeah, that was. Did you watch that show?
I did see some clips from Square Enix. I don't think I watched the whole of it, but I think
Well,
I
let's
will.
wrap up Microsoft real quick. I just
Mhm.
have two more things.
Mhm.
The fridge. They announced the Xbox fridge. They lost a bet with Skittles on Twitter or something, so now they're going to actually make a fridge that looks like the Xbox Series X. So that's hilarious. The other thing that was really notable about the Microsoft Bethesda conference,
Mhm.
they showed 30 games all coming out at different times, but 27 of those 30 games are coming day one on the Game Pass. So
Oh
if you're a
wow.
subscriber, you don't even have to buy these games. It comes with your subscription. And that's frankly amazing.
Yeah.
Like there was only 3 games that you would have to pay for
Mhm.
separately from your already having the subscription. And there's no other console that's even coming close to offering that.
Mhm.
And we're talking quality games too. Like
Mhm.
for example, Starfield, like AAA titles in some cases, and they're
Mhm.
talking about over the next year having 2 to 3 releases of some sort on Game Pass, and that's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Mhm.
So anyway, on to Square Enix. Tell me about it because I didn't really watch it. All I know is there was one trailer that said chaos a lot.
Uh,
Chaos, chaos,
that
chaos.
game was I think it's like a Final Fantasy game. Like I wouldn't say like it isn't Final Fantasy per se. But
Hmm.
it's a game set in the Final Fantasy universe or some in some way, shape, or form. And it was apparently it's people are excited. Well, some people are. I don't find much excitement from it. I thought the game looked bland. It looked like you know asset flip the game or something. It apparently the gameplay is supposed it's the same guys behind Neo, so it's supposed to be really good gameplay because obviously I love Neo. Neo is great. So I'm thinking if it's that gameplay, because I had one mate who explained it to me and he was like, "Good Lord, Q, it's the gameplay from Neo." You know, he wasn't speaking specifically to me, but when he said it, I was like, "Yes, you are speaking to me." Um, and but the thing is that when you look at the visuals, it looks like trash, man. It just looks so bland and plain and not very inspirational. So there was that. Then Square Enix had Guardians of the Galaxy, which that looks amazing. I actually want to play that. Like that looks like finally a single player sort of like action game. Yep, I'm down for that. And
Yeah,
then
that did look exciting.
indeed, I'm looking forward to the story. I'm looking forward. I'm assuming this is gonna be a short game though. Like it's not gonna be long. Like you get in and you get out quickly, and then they probably try to patch it up with DLC in the future. Like paddle on maybe like a mission for Gamora or one for Drax or whatever have you. But hey, I'm fine with that. I'll live with this game. You know, it's perfectly fine. If they do exactly what they did with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, similar kind of vibe, I'm like I am down, right? Chuck that in Game Pass no less. Yep, your boy will be good. They did mention release for this Marvel Avengers thing where they showed off Black Panther. Wasn't interested in that because I'm not interested in the Marvel Avengers game, so I just didn't care about it. Um, they have a Hitman sniper. Don't I've never really been the biggest Hitman fan, so it didn't really appeal to me. Um, and just generally a bunch of Final Fantasy stuff, which mean mostly for the online Final Fantasy, and then I think Final Fantasy 7 had a some sort of
There's
like
a free upgrade
mhm
to the to PS5. I might have to go back and check that because I have the PS4
mhm.
just to see if it looks that much better and runs faster or whatever.
I need a PS5, man. I need a PS5 to see them sorts of thing. They did show up this game called Babylon Fall. Again
Okay.
looks very generic looter shooter kind of vibe. It gave off to me. I just didn't care. I think I skipped that. Like while I was watching their
Like a Destiny or Borderlands or
yeah,
like
that's
a.
the same vibe I got. I skipped through their trailer when I saw that. I was like, garbage, not
I don't
interested.
think I saw. I watched the trailer for the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's about it. So
Mm.
I haven't heard of this Babylon Falls. Is it something I should even look up or?
Someone says, hey Q and Chris. This is not Chris. This is Tim.
You can call me Chris.
Snotty, what's
I'll
going on,
take it.
buddy? What's going on, Snotty? Welcome to the stream. Let us know any questions you have about E3 because that's what we're talking about right now.
Yep.
But yeah, generally, I mean, I just didn't really find any interest in that. One game I saw when Square Enix was doing their thing was that I instantly thought of you and I was like, oh, I wish I was watching this with Tim. Was Life is Strange because I know you like Life is Strange and you've played it
I
before.
do.
So I was
But
like,
I
hmm
I saw. I didn't watch the trailer, but I saw. It's just a remaster. I
what
don't
about
know.
True Colors?
I haven't played True Colors. That's true.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
look into that one.
I think it launches in
I actually
September.
play that with my daughter. We play it together. We like make the choices together, so that's kind of fun.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, I'll look up True Colors after this.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing here, it's gonna release on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PC,
Nice.
Google Stadia, on September the
Everything.
10th. Yeah, exactly. September the
Is it,
10th.
oh, is it coming out on Luna though?
Oh, isn't that Amazon's thing?
Yes.
Everyone has a streaming service.
It's Amazon's Stadia basically.
Like Stadia is so successful that you have to come to sort of like do that to like emulate them for some reason. Like yeah, Stadia is the most popular thing ever. By the way, again, for anyone watching the stream live, if you wanna, this is gonna be up on the channel to watch. If you have
Yeah, let us know if
anything.
there's games you were excited about the
Mhm.
E3 week
Mhm.
and like maybe we'll learn something. We didn't watch everything.
Mhm.
I want to
Exactly.
talk about a press conference that probably a lot of people didn't watch, but I was interested. E3, when it was physical, often had a lot of I don't know what you call it, like physical, like PC manufacturers or like HyperX, like headsets or
Mhm.
Razer was always there.
Mhm.
And Razer had two things that honestly impressed me. Project Hazel, something I've been watching since I think CES is when they announced it.
Mhm.
And there's a picture in our notes if you can put it up, Q. If not, that's fine too.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
um it's an N95 rated mask and
Mhm.
it has a voice modulator and it has RGB lighting and it has
Mhm.
clear plastic so people can see your mouth so you can communicate better.
Mhm.
It's got a very gamer vibe to it.
Mhm.
It looks like something from the future, very cyberpunk.
Mhm.
And they didn't announce a price for it, but they did announce that it will. They are still working on it, and it's coming out for quarter 4, which is October through December. They don't have a specific date. Um, so yeah, it's clear, transparent. It's got filters you can swap out, RGB. It looks really cool. There's actually a filter on Instagram, so you can see what it would look like on your face if you want.
I saw you do that. I saw you post one of those.
I did that for fun, yeah. I really
Uh,
want one of these. Like when I go to cons and stuff,
mhm,
even after our current situation, like there's a lot of germs that go around and people
mhm,
often get sick after 3 or 4 days of these cons. In my area, every year we get wildfires.
mhm,
There's a period last year where you could not go outside for more
mhm,
than 10 minutes. The air quality is so bad.
mhm,
So even past our current situation, I kind of want a product like this.
mhm,
Um, so I don't know. I'm excited about that. The other thing that they talked about was their new ultra compact gaming laptop,
mhm,
the Razer Blade 4.
mhm,
Um, I I don't understand how they fit all of this stuff. It was a normal, small looking laptop.
mhm,
and it's got an AMD Ryzen 9 in it
Mhm.
and a a 380 GeForce RTX in it, and it has a big battery, has 12 hours. It's got vapor chamber cooling. It's got all these high-end PC specs, and it's this tiny, tiny little laptop. Now,
Mhm.
it's not cheap. I think the base model with the 3060 in it
Mhm.
was 1799, and it goes up from there for the 3070 to 3080.
Mhm.
But it was just impressive what this company could cram into a tiny laptop.
Mhm.
So if I win the lottery, I'm picking that up for sure.
Oh,
But that was just
yeah,
what were you
continue.
gonna say?
No, no, no. I was just saying that I got the image up on the screen with the
Oh, the
mouse.
Hazel, awesome.
Yeah, I got it up. So,
So I don't know. What do you think about that look, Q? And be honest. If you think it looks terrible, just say so.
no, I think it looks cool. I just think it's so late in the game. In the sense of
It
like,
is. I acknowledge that, but I gave you two reasons why it still might be.
that is also true because when before I was just thinking like I don't want this anymore because it's like
Hmm.
I don't even wear a mask most of the time unless I go into certain places, like the grocery or something. But that being said, I would buy this for exactly the same reason you mentioned because I always get convention flu when I go to conventions,
Hmm.
and it messes you up. Convention flu is the worst, and this is the perfect thing for convention flu because everyone's in cosplay at a convention, and it looks so cool. And because of the fact that we do interviews a lot, it's good to be able to see someone's face when you're doing an interview with someone at an event. So something like this is perfect. So they can see your face, and you don't have to die from interacting with them. So it's perfect.
Exactly.
So
Has a little side benefit there.
exactly, it is perfect. So I'm actually very keen to try this out. To get one of those. I mean, we do have a contact at Razer, but I wouldn't say it's the most stable contact in the world.
Yeah. Zach and I have run into that as well, where they are all super friendly at the con, but then
Hmm.
out for when you email them, it's like crickets.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we did.
so those are
Sorry,
two products that I would not mind owning at all.
we do have some comments from Snolly. He did mention Babylon Fall. Snolly, we did talk about that game before. It does look like Godfall. And then he says one of the games I'm excited for is Metal Gear Solid Tactics. There's a Metal Gear Solid Tactics? Really?
I missed
Um,
that.
I missed that too. Let me see this. I did not know that was a thing. Metal Gear. Konami had. I thought Konami started out E3.
Apparently not.
Just a second. Metal Gear Solid TAC. There's no way that's a thing, is it? I don't even have an email for this. Like Konami always emails me, and I don't have any email for this. It's not.
Konami is a very weird video game company right now.
Are you pulling my leg, Snolly? Tell me you're pulling my leg, because I cannot believe I knew nothing of a Metal Gear Solid Tactics. Um, yeah, nothing's coming up for me. Uh,
Maybe he's excited for the possibility.
um, Metal Slug, not Metal Gear.
Oh,
Metal
Metal
Slug.
Slug.
Still
That's
didn't know about that.
SNK. That's SNK. I did see that somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
I would be
I'm
so
trying to
down
think
for
what
that.
company.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I've got a trailer here. Let me try to run the trailer um while we have it on the stream. Give me a sec, guys. I'm just switching back on the window with the trailer. So that's the trailer there. All right. Tim, you're not able to see it right now, but it's all
It's
good.
okay. I'll watch it. I'll watch it later. It's more important that our viewers get to see it.
I think audio is coming through my speakers. Let me switch my audio to come through my headset. Oh, wow. That's loud. Oh, wow. It looks like Final Fantasy Tactics, but with Metal Slug characters. I've
Well,
already waifued.
Metal Slug character is already kind of chibi, so that would work pretty well.
Yeah, I've already waifued Eri. Erin or whatever is her name. She looking cool. She waifuable. Let's go with that. It looks exactly like Metal Gear, like Metal Slug, but it's like on a sort of 2.5D sort of grid, sort of look like Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh, I'm excited for this. I'm with you, Snolly. I am so with you with this. This is definitely my jam. Oh, Theo looking good. Hella yet nice. Sup, Theo? Okay, okay, that's enough. That's enough of this trailer. We're gonna have to talk about this in the future. Let's save some of this for later. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take this off the screen so we can continue because we have a limited amount of time. But oh my god, that game looked great. that has already got me excited. I am looking forward to playing this Metal Slug Tactics. Um but I think Snally saying Jeebus that's pricey. I'm assuming he's still referring to the laptop you were talking about.
Oh,
Um
it's a dream machine. I probably will never own it, but I can at least fantasize about owning it, I guess. It's just impressive all of the specs that they crammed into a tiny space. Like it seems impossible.
Here's a question,
Um,
Tim. If you had the
mhm,
power of invisibility, right, would
mhm.
you walk into a Razer factory and walk back out with one of them?
Um, I mean, I could try. They'd probably wonder why a laptop was floating around.
No, no, no. Once you like anything, your
Anything
garment
I touch,
turns invisible. Yeah, would you?
no comment.
Questionable morals. You know
Let's move
what?
on to Nintendo. Let's pretend we never had this discussion.
Indeed.
Um, they ticked me off. They faked out that they were going to do some Zelda news,
Mhm.
and then it turned out to be a new Smash Brothers character right at the beginning.
Mhm.
It was kind of funny when they dropped Kirby off a cliff. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that is.
Um,
Mhm.
Probably the number one thing I was hyped for was a new Metroid.
Mhm.
So Metroid Dread is coming to Switch on October 8th,
Mhm.
and it's side-scrolling, which
Oh,
awesome.
beautiful. It
Back to the
looks so good.
roots.
It is the roots. Exactly. When I saw it, I was just like, good lord, a proper Metroid. I'll be honest, right? This may be an unpopular opinion, but a lot of people talk about Metroid Prime like it's the like, oh, Metroid Prime is the best Metroid. Oh, Metroid. I never liked Metroid Prime. It's an
You know
unpopular
what?
opinion. Never
You know
liked it.
why I think that is? I think
Why?
that's because like diehard Nintendo fans don't have a lot of first-person shooters back in that time period, and
Mhm.
they finally got one, and they
Yeah.
were so happy to get one.
Mhm.
Like you forget that back in that time period, there was not hardly any first-person shooters on a Nintendo platform.
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
Metroid Prime is not exactly. I mean, there's a lot of like scanning and exploration, but
Mhm.
it's kind of like a first-person shooter. So they got all hyped about that.
Mhm.
That's why I think there's so much love and attachment to the Prime series. That's my
Mm.
personal opinion.
Yeah, probably, probably. Also, guys, if you're watching this live, drop a like, or if you're watching in the future, like as well. It helps the videos and all that kind of stuff. But
Makes
yeah,
us feel good about ourselves.
yeah, it does
Gives
make
us
it
thumbs up.
makes us feel nice. Also, there are reviews coming this later this week, so look out for that. And if you want to see any PS5 game reviews, make sure to direct your comments to Tim. Right, he's the one with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So just like bombard the channel with comments like, "We want to see a review for Ratchet and Clank," and Tim will be forced to make it. So,
Hmm.
but back to Nintendo. I was so excited
They,
when I saw Dread. You know,
yeah,
I
me too.
was I was so excited for Dread. Oh, Tim, I'm seeing a comment that's specific to you. This is a you kind
Oh
of
yeah.
comment. Yeah. Can you see? Are you seeing the comments, or do I need to read it for you?
I don't have the stream up. I can get it in a second.
Okay, you bring it up
Uh,
and you read this comment that's specifically
sure. While
directed.
I'm bringing it up, the part I was disappointed about was I was hoping there's going to be a 35-year like celebration for Zelda,
Mhm.
and I was really underwhelmed by that part.
Oh, I mean, who knows? Maybe
Ooh.
Nintendo will have something special later in the week. Who knows?
Ah, WarioWare. Yes, that was a game I was excited for, and Q was like, ah, okay. I've always loved the WarioWare games. They are silly. They're sometimes gross. Always irreverent. They're fun though. What I like about them is they're they're very experimental, and they'll
Mhm.
do things with the game hardware that you won't see in most other games. I don't know
Mhm.
if you remember back when the Switch came out, they were pretty experimental with the games like Snipper Clips
Mhm.
and a couple other games. But I feel like the last couple years they haven't done that,
Mhm.
and I think WarioWare is a time where developers can play with kind of the weird aspects
Mhm.
of the Switch, like you can tilt or blow or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. And Wario is just, I mean, he's Wario. What are you gonna? Wario is awesome. So yeah,
Mhm.
that covered my disappointment for the lack of Nintendo 35th anniversary Zelda. They
Mhm.
do have one thing that I'm excited for. They have a Game and Watch unit for Zelda that has the first two Zelda games and like a clock. So
Mhm.
I already pre-ordered that from Best Buy
Ooh.
because
Ooh.
yeah,
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
I I used to buy almost everything Zelda. I'll tell
Mhm.
you now, I'm not getting Skyward Sword, at least not new.
Mhm.
Um, that game was not good. They mentioned that. They also mentioned like an expansion for Hyrule Warriors, which yeah, I'm happy for you if you like the Hyrule Warriors and those kind of games. They're not my kind of game.
You know your cup of tea.
Um, yeah, they also went back to the well for a game that you were excited about, though. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
Mhm. Um,
Speaking of tactics,
Advance Wars for me is such a special game because one of my closest friends now, we met on Advance Wars. So like his mom and my
cool.
stepmom were like university mates, and just generally they ended up they wanted us to meet because we were both doing like we were both interested in game design at the time. I was still in secondary school, and basically they introduced us because he was doing game design at I think was Full Sail at the time, and so I wanted to go to Full Sail, and basically they were like, oh, Q, you need to meet this kid. And when I because they'd flown in from Texas, and I was back in Trinidad at the time, and they flew in from Texas, and he basically had a DS at the time, and I had a DS, and we bonded over. He had Advance Wars, and I had Advance Wars, and we started playing Advance Wars together, and that was kind of our thing. And every time we see each other, because we see each other from time to time, every time we see each other. We mentioned the Advance Wars thing. The last time we saw each other was actually 2019, sorry, early 2020 before COVID proper hit, and it was the last carnival in Trinidad and Tobago before COVID destroyed everything. But it was chill. It's pretty chill. We hung out and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we spoke about Advance Wars, and I'm pretty sure he's excited for this. I haven't spoken to him about it, but I'll probably give him a call sometime. And be like, hey, Seth, what's going on, bruh? How about that Advance Wars? You getting it for Switch? He'd probably be like, yes, Q, I am, because I know he
And
has a Switch now. Mhm.
what's great is you don't have to be like next to each other like you did with the DS. You can
Mhm.
play from afar and you can make that connection again. So that's awesome.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Oh,
can't remember. Mhm.
the next two games on our list too are. I'm sorry, I'm rushing you a little bit.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. I know you have to get out of here.
I have to get going to life soon.
Mhm.
But the next two games were more games in your wheelhouse, so I was hoping to hear a little bit more about them from you.
Okay, so Dragon Ball Kakarot to begin with is one of the games that I love. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Kakarot. Huge, huge fan. One of my favorite games.
I will say it looked amazing. Like it looked really good.
I would say it doesn't look as good as it looks on other consoles. That's one of the things I noticed, and it made me really want to Switch Pro even more because I'm like, this
Mm.
game looks so great on the PC, and it looks so great on the PS4 Pro, and I'm like, could you imagine if the Switch just had a little bit more power, just a little bit, just enough to meet like a PS4
I'm
graphics?
always saying that.
Yeah, so I think it's being hurt by frame rate. Like you look at the frame rate, you can see where it's being hurt by the frame rate, and like
Hmm.
low, like a little bit lower res. But that being said, I think once you start playing games on the Switch, you forget those things because you're playing in handheld mode and you forget, oh my god, this is a game that's running on the system, even if it's 30 frames per second or something like that, and it dips. It's you're still like, holy shit, this is a console quality game running on a handheld, and I think that's what people are gonna be stuck thinking, and I'm fine with that, but I'm not. I would like to play it on the handheld. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it on the PC, specifically because it looked better. Shin Megami Tensei 5, though, won't go into details as to much what I think about that because there's a podcast that I'm on called HPMP Podcast, which if you guys, some of you guys may know of it because you follow that and then you've come over here. But those who don't, you need to go listen to HPMP Podcast, the last episode that went up, and check the time this went up because the HPMB episode were the one that we talk about it was on Sunday, so that would have been the 20th. Today is the 23rd. So the 20th of June 2021. Watch that episode. It's on Shadow Elite HD on YouTube, and it's also on a lot of other. You can find HPNP podcast on a lot of like streaming services like Apple Podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So go there, check it out, and you'll hear me and a bunch of other cool JRPG fans talk about what we think about Shin Megami Tensei 5 and so forth. So I won't go into detail about it here. But generally, that's it. I think the biggest letdown for me was I was hoping for a Switch Pro and that never happened. And I think that was it. And honestly, I would say for me, who did the best E3 was actually Microsoft. I would honestly say Microsoft
I was
made the best
about to
E3.
ask you that. Like, who do you think won E3? Because what's what people always want to like. Which company like showed up the best? And so you pick Microsoft.
I picked Microsoft. They did Game Pass really really well. Like they showed a lot of games in the
I
Game Pass.
completely agree. They
Mhm.
also showed the widest range of games. We didn't
Mhm.
talk about it, but they had sports games, they had
Mhm.
shooters,
Mhm.
they had a Forza game if you're into
Mhm.
cars, they
Mhm.
had some kind of snowboarding game.
Mhm.
Like no matter what, they even had one art JRPG. I will say they're pretty like weak in that area,
Mhm.
but like literally almost any major gaming area, they had something for you.
Mhm.
Um, which no other company could really say that.
That is so so so
Not only
true.
do they have something for you, you get it for free on on release date.
It's not free.
So
It's not free.
what? Right,
You get it
right.
for about like what? What's the price? You get it for like is it
15 a month at US.
15 month US in the UK? I think it's like 11.99. So 10.99 or 11.99 somewhere around there is the price range in the UK. So that's in pounds. So yeah, let's say between 11, but let's say about 5 15 quid, 15 US to about 12 quid, or roughly around there is the price range that you're looking at. Not bad. Not bad, especially because you have a massive catalog. And also, biggest shout out to the fact that they dropped Yakuza 7,
Oh yeah,
Yakuza Like a Dragon. They dropped that stuff and said, "Hey, and you can get this now." They pulled an apple on us. I was like, "Yes, sir. Download it now." I was like, "Perfect." Um, so yeah, Yakuza Like a Dragon is currently right now on Game Pass, and I'm a huge Yakuza fan. If you guys don't know that, go over to our YouTube channel, Up Guardian, and you'll see my reviews of all the other Yakuza games, excluding that one because I didn't get a review copy for it. Sadly, at the time I did request, I just didn't get one. Sadly. Um,
now you can finally get it
now I can
on
play
Game
it.
Pass.
And I do believe I will review it. I do believe I'll review it, not because not for Atlas's sake or not for Sega's sake, but just personally for me because I do like Yakuza and I do want to give the game some love. Also shout out to everyone who drops a like in the chat, and we appreciate those likes, guys.
Yeah, thanks
And
for your questions and bringing that one game to our attention, Metal Slug Tactics, that we
mhm.
hadn't heard of. So that's
Exactly.
awesome.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. We're gonna try. We try to see if we can do at least one of these at least once a week. It's somewhere between Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you guys want to come back, subscribe, hit the bell icon, make sure that you come back when we're here. And it's we roughly around this kind of time frame. Somewhere around there, I think. And just come back and hang out with us as we talk about life and games and well, mini games, just games. Yeah, mini games generally.
Mini games.
So yeah, Western games though.
Sometimes RGB masks, but
Oh man, I want. You know what? The more now that I think about it more, the more I want that Razer mask now. Now that you've sold me on like convention flu, because I do want to go back to conventions as soon as possible, and I want one now. I'm gonna try to see. You think if I would have nag Razer really hard, they would give me one? Like if I just like call their number like hello, is
I
this?
mean, you are very persuasive.
Am I really? Am I?
Yes, yes.
If I was very persuasive, I would have had a PS5 and an Xbox Series X by now. You know. But I
Well,
don't have one. hmm
Sony's being weird right now. They didn't have a press conference, right?
They didn't have a press conference because I think Sony's gonna do their own thing separate. I
They're
think they.
being very like I don't know inward right now. They aren't reaching out as much as they used to,
Mm,
just in general. Like they
ah.
used to have their own con, for example, and it was actually pretty cool.
Mhm.
I went 2 years in a row, and that they quit that. Yeah, Sony needs to get out there and play with
It's not. It's
with
it's
everybody.
it's not. I think, to be honest, I think conventions as they are, especially like these digital ones, I think they're not necessary in that sense. Like having an E3 or Games Fest, Summer Games Fest and stuff like that. Like I think these companies can just do their own press conference. I think Nintendo proved that with Nintendo Directs. I think if
Yep,
if you just decided like, hey, we're just gonna have a thing. Like if Sony just says, hey, we're gonna have our Sony, what do they call it, State of Play?
they have
Um,
state of play, but they're just smaller. I don't know. I've watched them, and they just aren't. They don't have the impact that like definitely not the same as Nintendo's.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
obviously it's not because I think the reason State of Play don't have the impact is because Sony does they don't announce anything interesting in State of Play, and then it usually is focused against around one particular product, like one game or something like that. It's never like they do a State of Play, and it's like how can I say they're talking about a range of things and so forth. So I think because of the fact that the State of Play usually focuses on one particular title at that particular point in time, I think that is what hurts it. Whereas when it's Nintendo and they do a Nintendo Direct and they focus on everything, that does a lot well. Because let's say, for example, Nintendo does a Nintendo Direct, which they do from time to time, and they focus on like Smash or something. There's a bunch of people that just won't tune in for that because they don't play Smash. The Smash community will tune in,
Right.
but the rest won't. If they do one on Animal Crossing, the people who don't play Animal Crossing won't tune in. And I think that's what Sony needs to do is try to have more PlayStation State of Plays where they focus on a range of titles so that way you have people actually coming to watch these sort of things rather than just it being one particular game that they're focusing on at that particular point in time. So,
And back to E3, Microsoft did that perfectly.
yes.
They had something for almost everybody.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, indeed.
Microsoft wins E3. That's the official position of Simply Binge.
Mhm.
We both, so say we all, right?
So say we got we've got two final comments. One from Snarly, which
Okay.
goes, "Can't wait for TGS 2021. I'm looking forward to that as well." Snarly, I actually got an email from them about signing up for press access, so I haven't done it yet, but I'll sign up. And hopefully we can do a live stream like we did for E3. And then we have Legendary Anime JP Fan 2. Hey, Legendary,
Hey,
what's up, buddy?
hey, Legendary.
How's it going? Welcome. You came in at the tail end. We're about to wrap up.
Unfortunately, I have to get going.
Yes, Tim has to get
If you want to
going.
continue the stream without me, I would understand, but I have to get going.
Yeah, I actually need to get going as well. So I am not going to continue to stream without you. But anyway, guys, thanks to everyone who showed up for this stream. We try to see if we can do at least one per week. Drop a like if you're watching this right now. If you're watching the future, drop a like. Leave a comment in the comment section. We'll try to respond to those that aren't live by responding in comment format. And make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll see when we do these. And also, spam comments in any of our videos that you want to see Tim cover any PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X games, because he's the one who has them. So you just go, Tim, we want to see, direct them all to Tim. We want to see a Ratchet and Clank review. We want to see whatever PlayStation 5 game or Xbox game, and you know, he'll be forced to, he'll be forced to. Isn't that right, Tim?
If you persuade the game companies to send me a code,
Oh, you,
maybe.
oh, Tim, don't make it seem like you can't get a code. If you want to, you get a code. Please. Anywho,
Anyway,
with
thanks for
that,
watching, everyone.
indeed, indeed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And I